Yes, it's Destination Newry. It's the morning programme. I'm Rowan Hand. I have the greatest pleasure in being your host. 3 hours every morning, 7:30 until 10:30 Irish time, here from the heart of Newry to the waiting world. Greatly privileged to have with me in studio this morning Geraldine Gaw and Anna O'Hagan from the Warrenpoint Fish. And I'm ably assisted in Studio 1 this morning by Chris Roberts, the chairman this year of the University of the Third Age. You're all very welcome. How are you? So who's going to tell me first of all something about what Warrenpoint Fish is and something of its history?
Geraldine?
Well, Warrenpoint Fish was set up in 1978, September 1978, as an initiative by the Newry and Mourne Council, Raymond Turley, who was then the recreational officer. Yeah. And a meeting was called in the town hall in Warrenpoint. Several people came and a committee was formed.
Yeah.
The first fish was held on November of the same year, and it lasted 5 days.
Yeah.
There was music, speech and Irish dancing. And the late Mrs. Lillian McCardle Trodden was the chairperson.
An icon.
An icon. Raymond Turley was the secretary and Iris Henley was the treasurer.
That was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning. And after the first year, Raymond gave up the post of secretary, and the very capable Mairead McAnulty and Ailish Durkin took over that role.
Durkin is a great Warrenpoint name.
It is indeed.
Without a doubt. Mm-hmm. But of course you're the doctor's wife in Warrenpoint. You're a Gaw.
Only one of the doctors.
One of the doctors. Has he got many wives?
Doctors plural. Not that I know of.
No, indeed. Anna, you're a long-serving member of the committee.
Yes,
yeah. It's relatively recent, isn't it? 78's not that long ago.
No, it's
really.
only a couple of years ago.
Blink and you're back there.
Blink and you're there, exactly.
Yeah. So what drew you into it?
Well, of course, my children were always involved in the fish, and I would attend it and go. But I think it was about 1990 that I became general secretary.
Wow.
After working in it for a while, with the big help of Mairead McAnulty and Ailish Durkin.
Yes.
Without those two, I don't think the fish would ever have survived.
Yeah. Chris, the fishes and musical things like that, could there be a kind of a U3A fish at some stage?
Well, the thing about that, Ron, is that just like Geraldine...
Do you guys know what the U3A is?
Oh, yeah,
I do.
So
yes,
he's the man. Yeah. He's the guy in the chair.
Oh, look.
We would have, as you know, quite a number of members from Warrenpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we have so many members, of course, naturally enough, from Newry. Possibly, Rowan, one of the reasons why that we may not be able to do a U3A Fesh. We do a U3A All Northern Ireland Song Fest.
Wow.
But our members, so many of our members are very tied up in the Newry Fesh. And I dare say some of the folks that we would have in Newry U3A are probably beavering away on behalf of Warrenpoint.
Absolutely, things have been done.
We have a group known as the Gentlemen Singers. I'm not sure which of those two words you might put a question mark on, whether they're gentlemen or singers, but they'll never forgive me. And their musical director, which sounds awfully grand, is a Scottish lady called Jean-Anne Marler, who is one of the key workers for Newry Fesh.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
there's a good synergy there.
Yeah.
You're all in there together in the musicality of it. How, paint me a picture of a typical day in Warrenpoint Fish.
Well,
you're smiling. There's not. That's really to say there's no such thing.
Well, they were very organised. I have to say the fish is one of probably the best organised things I've ever been involved.
It has to be organised because once the day starts, everything has to flow.
Yeah.
So, for example, we start at 9:30 in the morning, and we have a 3-hour session. Then 2 o'clock, another 3-hour session, and 7 o'clock another another 3 hours.
Day.
We need a lot of helpers, and we couldn't do without what we call our associate members, who are those members who are not on committee, but are more than willing to help us during the fish, because for each session of the fish, we need a minimum of 8 or 9 people to be manning the different positions within the hall. For example, we always need 3 people backstage. One would put the children on the stage, one would put the numbers up, one would then do what we call the paperwork.
Oh,
Then we need somebody on the door collecting the money. We need somebody on the door going into the hall so that people are not rushing in and out while one of the competitors is on the stage.
Yes.
Because bear in mind, they're all children.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
And from the age of 4 up to 18.
Daunting for when you
Yes.
think about it, you know,
Exactly.
at that age.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's a wonderful platform for a child because I think it gives them confidence.
it does. I must tell you, I must share this with you. It's my fesh story. Everyone, I will be met in
you've only one?
in all kinds of locations on the planet, and people will remember back. They say, "Oh, I remember you at the fesh," and I said, "No, you don't. I never was in a fesh in my life." And they say, "But you must have been. You're doing all this sort." No, no, no. You're thinking of the other hands, the more uppity hands. They were they were constantly on the fesh, winning everything to be in front of them. But they're now professors of language in Oxford University, so they did very well. But that is the thing, you mentioned it there, giving people confidence. And is that coming, but do they not have the confidence coming through the schools?
Well, to a certain
Please.
extent they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say the teachers are excellent with them. But see, now with so much child protection, that's the problem now, like.
There's only one reason you would have to protect them if I was in the audience. It would be if they were singing very badly. Then I would throw rotten cabbages or something like that.
no,
I'm not allowed to do that.
No.
Oh, shucks.
When the child gets on the stage, it is their moment.
Oh, absolutely. Of course it is.
Moment of glory.
It's a
It
moment,
is.
and it doesn't
Something
matter.
they've been looking forward to
Exactly.
for a long time.
And of course, the other thing is they go home and they say the poem perfectly. They get on the stage, and some of them, the wee pets, sometimes they cry. Sometimes they say it so low you can hardly hear them.
Bless them.
But each and every one of them gets up and does their bit.
Yeah.
And their parents are proud of them, their
Yeah.
teachers are proud of them, and we are proud of them.
And it's the start.
And without them,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have a fish.
No, it can be the start of something very big indeed. If you have children, they're learning to perform, and they're taking the ups and downs of that. Maybe, nervousness, they're not doing so well today, they're talking too low. But they're overcoming that.
Of
Of
course.
course, yeah.
These are wondrous.
Yeah.
And you see the children of 4
Four.
years
You
of
have them
age.
in at 4.
Yes, for the start
and
of
4 up, especially in the Irish dancing.
Yeah.
You have the 4-year-olds that used to be under 7, then went down to under 6, and then went down to under 5.
Yeah.
You know,
Do tell me, and this was in the news recently.
just recently.
Do tell me that the 4-year-olds are not wearing makeup.
Oh, no.
Because
no,
that's
definitely
what they
not.
had to put the foot
Oh, I
down
know,
over.
I know,
in
I
this
know.
Irish dancing thing. They're going around with these crazy wigs that cost 100 quid each. And they're also then being made up to the high 9s, and that's not allowed anymore. And then they have an examination of them now, that they have to lift their arms up to make sure there's no weights attached to their arms to keep the arm. This was in the news last week.
Yes,
keep their
that's
arms
right,
by their
that's-
sides.
that's true.
What is going on?
know, it's
But
crazy.
you're above all of that.
Of course we are.
It's there's a greater innocence attached to what you're doing.
Of course there is.
And then we have the music, of course, and that's fantastic also because not only is there singing, there's the recorder, there's brass, there's strings, there's
Different
choirs, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the songs from the shows
Yes.
are
Lovely.
fantastic.
And what age do they go up to?
Well, 4 to 18.
4 to 18.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's the traditional music. It only lasts
18 to
one
92.
day. Well, but,
Yes, well, let's-
but again, for the most part, it's all young people. It's all
Yes.
young people. And we started off with 5 days for a fish, and at the moment, it's now 21 days.
Wow, it's impressive, isn't
And
it?
each day
Yeah,
is very, very full.
Yeah.
But the schools are fantastic. The teachers of the private pupils are fantastic, and
Yeah.
they're great support, and they say they just love coming to Warrenpoint Fish.
Yeah. And there's a whole buzz around Warrenpoint.
Of course there is. Yeah.
When it's a crowd.
And for some, it's a day out.
Yes, of
Yes,
course. And
yes.
you know something? There's something absolutely wonderful about the concept of a day out in Warren Point. It takes me back to when I was 4. You know, this is so much true.
And some of
true.
them will say, well, I didn't win anything, but
We had a
I'm
great time.
going to Diamonds, or I'm going to
yeah,
Fire Tucks, or I'm going,
yeah.
you know, so...
Mightn't have won, but they
Yes.
took part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is
it's
amazing. But it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful what Geraldine and Anna are doing.
It's a huge thing.
And all the many
And your
helpers that
committee,
they,
yeah.
all of whom they named by name,
Yes,
which
yes,
was great. But you know, it just amazes me. You would be hard pressed, maybe Rowan, to think of another, even European country that is introducing culture
Yeah.
to
Yes, and offering a
local
platform
youngsters
for these
at the age of 4,
children.
and then they grow up in that culture. Should
That's
it be
true.
song? Should it be dancing? Should it be speech, drama? You know, they're inculcated with culture
Absolutely,
from
from the word
that,
go.
that age,
And they're taking it with them to university, and when they
That's
go
right.
out into the world, they will always remember Fesh and Warren Point.
That's
you
very
know.
true.
But really, it was the people who started in 1978 that built the foundation for what it is today. It has made it easy for the rest of us who are on the committee
Yeah.
to build on that,
Yeah.
because the foundation was there with, as I say, the initiative from Raymond Turley,
Of course.
the likes of Mrs. Lillian McCardle
Trodden,
Trodden,
yeah.
Mairead McAnulty,
Well, Mairead has always been a
Myrtle
stalwart.
Bradley
Yeah.
is another
They're all
one,
there, yeah.
Eilish Durkin.
But in many ways, you know, things
The
have occurred.
Henleys.
Things have occurred in Warren Point since, which in large measure owe their genesis to Fesh. I'm thinking of the Maiden of the Moors.
Yes.
That just it was building on a seedbed of excellence and performance excellence that was already there. So they had this notion, let's do it because Fesh works, we'll do this. You know, Lillian, how did you get involved? What's your motivation for being involved?
Well,
or not Lillian, you're Geraldine.
I'm Geraldine,
I was
yes.
thinking Mrs. Trodden.
Well, my 2 girls went to Our Ladies in Newry, and they stayed in on a Wednesday. There was orchestra.
I
And on the
remember
way
it well.
back from the orchestra, there was a gentleman worked in Hollywood Cars called Jimmy Barry, the late Jimmy Barry.
Yes.
And I would see Jimmy standing, he was going to go to get the bus, and I would give him a lift home.
Yes.
So every Wednesday he got into the car and we had a chat, and he said to me, "Do you know anything about drama?"
Wow.
And I said, well, when I was little, I did a little bit of speech and drama. He said, would you like to join Warren Point Fish?
There you are.
And I said, oh, I don't know. And he said, look, I'll speak to Mairead McAnulty. So I was called to a meeting of which Mairead was there, and Eilish Durkin, and you might have been there, Anna.
No, I don't think it was.
And Jimmy Barry. And I was asked a few questions about drama. And that was me on the Fish committee.
Yeah.
Immediately got a post as the drama secretary.
Yeah.
So after that, then I helped Phyllis Harty, who was the speech secretary.
Yes.
And then I took over the primary school speech, and she did the private speech. And then I took over the private speech, and then for a few years I did both. Now, bear in mind, there's about 2,000 entries for speech.
My God.
So then,
Do you get tired?
no, you get the
you get-
adrenaline. Once the day starts, the adrenaline starts, and you just keep going, and you just love it. It's all about the children.
Yes.
And that is what we enjoy most about
Of course
it,
it
isn't it,
is,
Anna?
yes.
Anna, how did it all start for you?
It all started for me way back. Well, as I said, my girls used to go to the Fish, but there was this day that Eilish Durkin and Mairead McAnulty came down to me out of Fish, and they said, we're just down, and I didn't know why Eilish and Mairead were visiting me. They just said, we're coming down to see, maybe, would you take the job as General Secretary of the Fish?
And
The
with
worst job of all.
well, you see, you're mentioning figures, 2,000.
Yes.
Goodness gracious,
Yes.
this is
Well, I said,
it's a huge
no, I said,
organisation
no,
in there.
really, I wouldn't be interested, but we will help you.
Oh, the old refrain. Don't
So-
worry, you take the job, we'll help you.
So can I say that without the help of Mairead and Eilish, I would
Yeah.
never have stayed in it,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they were atrocious.
I have this vision of you running down the road, tearing your hair out with a volume of work that's imposed
No,
upon
I
you.
really-
But they're there helping you.
They were helping me.
Yeah.
And I can say that I really enjoyed every minute. I went
Yeah.
from General Secretary to Secretary of the Irish Dancing, And then I was chairperson of the fish. So
Fantastic.
I've been there and done that. And
Makes Warren Point what it is in so many
but
ways, Chris.
it's a fantastic platform for the children.
Oh, yeah.
You
yeah.
know, I have to say. And
But
I have to
that's
say
you see, you have this advantage. You're mothers, and that you love children and you're with children. I'm a father. It's a different kind of love that the father has. You give them this is my beloved. These are my beloved children. Look after them, Mum. You wouldn't want to be looking after them in the house and then going and organising their fish, would you, Chris?
Well, to be fair now to the fathers, they come and they support
excellent.
the children, the grannies, the grandas,
Yes.
the
Yes,
aunts,
yes,
the
yes,
uncles.
yes.
It's a real family
and
thing, isn't
It's
it?
a
It's a real
family
family
thing.
thing.
Now, and particularly I'd have to say at the Irish dancing, because they come in the morning and they're there for the day. They come with their
Yeah.
packed lunches.
Yeah.
You know, for the speech and the music, they only come in for the time that the child maybe is
That's
on.
right,
yeah.
But the Irish dancing takes up the whole day, and it's unbelievable.
it is unbelievable.
And we're so grateful to all the people who support us, and
Our patrons.
Yes, of course.
and the patrons
Yeah.
who support us, the people who give advertisements for our programme.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
But now this year there's 11 days of speech, there's 1 of traditional music, there's 6 of music, and there's 3 very full hectic days of Irish dancing.
Wow.
And there are thousands
You're
go
up at about
through.
15 days, are you? Many days?
21 days.
21 days of fish.
21 days.
3 weeks.
And
Goodness
that's
gracious.
from 9 or half 9 in the morning to possibly, it could be 10 o'clock
And
at night.
do you end up with an overall champion in each of the joyful disciplines?
Yes, well, there is, I'll mention about the speech first, and in the
Yeah.
speech there are cups for different classes, if you like. But on the final night, the adjudicator always sets the poem for the age groups from 4 up to 18, but up 4 to 15 there's different classes, and the best of the first 5 classes, which are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then because you can't really compare 4-year-olds with 12-year-olds.
No.
So there are 2 overall winners in the speech at the end.
At the end, yeah.
Now, but what about the Irish dancing?
The Irish
then?
dancing, there's a lot of winners because they go from, say, under 6 years of age, and they have a couple of dances to do. So then you'll get the most promising dancer in under 6, under 7, 8,
Yes,
9, 10.
yeah.
But you also get winners in each dance. You get a jig, a reel,
Yeah,
a minor one.
whatever.
And
yeah.
then as they go up, you have the championships. You have the
goodness.
under
Yeah.
12, 13, 14,
Yeah.
16, under 18 championships, boys and girls. So you have loads and loads and loads of winners.
It's-
And the
it's so
Irish dancing
impressive,
can
isn't
go
it?
on quite a long time. Like
Mm.
Geraldine was speaking about the speech maybe finishing about 10 o'clock. The Irish dancing could go on till 11.
You
I know.
guys, you must sleep very soundly when
Well,
the fish is
finish
on.
doesn't only last for 3 weeks. It goes on for about 3 months, 4 months prior
yeah.
to. As soon as one fish finishes, another one is in the offing.
You're preparing the following
Yeah,
years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really.
And do they come all from this area or from further afield?
Well, the Irish dancing's the whole of Northern Ireland.
Wow.
Yes.
You're a big date for them.
I would
of
say
course
the
we are.
speech, traditional music and music go Dundalk to Dromore to Kilkeel to South Armagh, that type of
Yeah.
the Irish dancing. They come from Derry,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fermanagh,
Belfast.
That's a lot.
Belfast.
Girls, there's one thing crosses my mind here. And I think, because if you were talking about overall winners and people who are succeeding,
Yes.
we're dealing with very, very fragile egos, children who are just wanting to
Yes,
win.
yes, exactly.
You have a lot of management there to do to prevent them feeling that they've failed.
Well, nobody fails.
But you know, you can imagine
yes.
the child, I haven't got the top
Exactly,
prize.
yes.
And
You do
I
get the
feel,
odd one.
and they cry
Yeah.
and said, I
Yes,
wish I'd
yes.
done better. I know the philosophy is
Yes.
nobody fails, but the propensity for people to feel failure is within them, deep within them,
Yeah.
if they don't get the top prize.
Well, that's
so
true,
you're
too.
able to manage that, are you, as the organisers?
We do a wee bit of counselling.
Counselling is good. You know what I'm talking
And
about.
also, they all get a mark sheet, and particularly for the younger children, they feel that's a certificate they've got.
Yes, of course.
But again, like everything else, as they get a little bit older, the numbers start to drop.
Yes.
Except maybe in the Irish dancing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, but certainly in the speech and the music. And I should have mentioned that in the music there is a President's Prize.
Wow.
For the overall best.
Yeah. Who is the president this year?
Jim Cooper.
Jim Cooper.
Yes.
Jim from
Lower Dromore Road.
And Jim is the man who came to us from the heart of England.
He's
That's
from.
correct.
Is it?
He's Lancashire man, is he not?
Yeah.
Bolton, yeah, he is.
Yes.
Wonderfully music. He's with the Clockmore Singers and all of that.
Yes, he's also the president of the Clockmore. As you know, my husband's in that.
I do.
And can I also say, when you're speaking about the Clockmore, my husband and Jim Cooper were
The founder members.
of the Clockmore.
That's right.
We're in the presence of
You're in presence of
greatness.
And Jim's late wife, Renee, was a wonderful, wonderful supporter
great. Oh,
of
she
the
was great.
Fish as well.
He's such a lovely wee man.
Oh, he's a great man. Great.
Lovely gentleman,
And
Jim
he's
Cooper.
the president is for 2 years, and
Yeah.
last year he was there
Every
practically
night with us.
every day with his chain of office
Oh,
on.
gum.
A wonderful, wonderful
Yeah.
man, and
funny
takes the
that,
role
yeah.
very seriously.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
And just the other day, he met me and he says, Anna, he says, would you do the needful for me? And I said,
What's the need
right,
for?
Jim, okay. I want you to fix my shirt and my collar and my,
yeah.
my
To make them just
chain
the
of
business,
office.
yeah. Gerald, when does it start? It
The
has started?
19th of February, and
For
we
3
finish
weeks.
on the 12th of March.
Okay.
It's close enough nearly to 4 weeks because of the weekends and that.
Okay.
But
we wish you ongoing success.
thank you very
And
much.
Okay.
people will just follow the sound, the drifting sound of the music and the dance, and that'll take you to Warren Point Town Hall for 3 weeks, maybe 4, of Fish, and you really enjoy it. We're going to play you a little bit of music now. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
All the
very
much
best
much.
to you.
indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.